This is take 2 at 160 words per minute.
In this take, I'm Mr. Sullivan, and I represent the people.
I'm Ms. Mursky. I represent the defendant, and I will be questioning the witness.
I am the court.
I am the witness.
Ready? Officer Leonard, my name is Michelle Mursky.
How are you?
And I'm the lawyer for Jeffrey. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, you told us about an episode that took place on July
6th.
July 6th. Is that right?
Yes.
What time was it that this all occurred, that you came in contact with Jeffrey?
May I see my memo book?
Sure. Take as long as you need to refresh your recollection.
Yes, Your Honor. Approximately 6 o'clock.
Between 5 and 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Is that p.m.?
Yes, 1800 hours.
May I see your memo book, please?
Sure.
And would you do this for me? I will hand you paper clips, and I want you to indicate where this whole transaction started in your memo book, and I don't want to go through the whole...
Step up next to him. Let him point it out.
Right here, 1800 and 1810. That's it.
That's all you wrote down?
It's all it is.
Male suspect for homicide?
Homicide information.
Now, you told us about seeing him on a moped. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were you in a marked vehicle or an unmarked vehicle?
I was in a marked radio car.
And did you have another officer with you?
Yes, I did.
And you also told us that the moped had no plate on it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it had a flat tire?
Yes.
And that he was by the vehicle itself?
He was on the vehicle itself.
What was he doing?
He was pushing it while sitting on the vehicle.
He was just pushing it?
He was on the vehicle. It was running, but his feet were pushing it when I observed him coming towards me in the middle of the street.
Did you issue him a summons of any kind of operating a vehicle without a license?
No, I did not.
Did you issue a summons for an unregistered vehicle?
No, I did not.
Did you ever ascertain who owned the vehicle?
It came back to a P.O. box in Brooklyn. It was vouchered at the precinct for the true owner.
At the time you saw the vehicle, did you call anyone to determine as to whether or not the vehicle was a stolen vehicle?
I tried to ascertain...
The question is, did you do something?
Objection.
Ms. Mursky, let the witness answer.
Officer, the answer is a simple yes or no.
I ran the VIN number over our radio.
What came back?
It came back no record.
So, as far as you were concerned, at the time you saw Mr. Jeffrey at around 6 o'clock with this vehicle, which you ascertained was not a stolen vehicle, no report of a stolen vehicle had been made?
Right.
But in any event, you took him into your car. Isn't that correct?
Yes, I did.
Why were you taking him in the car then?
Because the ignition was popped. There was no license plates on the thing. It's a not uncommon occurrence in South Jamaica to have stolen motorcycles.
But it had been reported back to you that it was not stolen?
Right, but...
Objection.
Sustained. We don't know when it was stolen. It becomes an issue.
Officer, I want to now refer you to the initial stop at 108th and 157th. Do you understand that?
Yes.
At that point, you made an inquiry as to whether or not the vehicle was stolen or had been reported stolen. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it came back there's no report of a stolen vehicle?
Yes, at that time, yes. But it doesn't mean it wasn't stolen.
I would like the court to instruct the witness to answer my question.
Officer, please answer the question.
I am answering it. I said at that time it hadn't been reported stolen.
Officer, you knew at that point who Jeffrey was. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Nevertheless, you took him in your vehicle. Isn't that correct?
Yes, I did.
Now, when you took him in your vehicle, what did you do specifically?
I was in the front seat. My partner was in the front seat. Jeffrey was in the back seat.
What did you say to him about getting into the car?
I said to get in the car. We're going to the station. And he said no problem.
Were you in uniform at this time?
Yes, I was.
And your partner was in uniform?
Yes.
This was a police vehicle?
Yes, it was a marked radio car.
Officer, when you told Jeffrey to get in the car, what would you have done if Jeffrey would simply have walked away?
At that point, he would have been taken into custody.
Then, for all intents and purposes, he could not leave the area where you were. Isn't that correct? He wasn't free to leave then, was he?
Objection.
Overruled.
Was he free to leave at that point?
At that point, no.
Thank you very much. So that at that point, he never made a statement to you concerning any crime that he knew about, saw, or was involved in. Is that correct?
At this point, I didn't even know about the homicide.
Fine. And at that point, you didn't know anything about a stolen vehicle, a stolen moped. Is that right?
I knew that the vehicle possibly was stolen.
It was a guess on your part as to whether it was or was not?
The ignition was broken. He had no papers. He didn't know whose it was. On a very good probability, it was stolen.
Let's let the judge decide that.
I'll decide.
You'll decide.